Everyone, welcome to Pepo Coin channel. If you are new to the channel, I hope you will subscribe by the end of this video. Therefore, if you were placing a large wager that XRP would be added to the strategic reserve, the crypto summit was undoubtedly a little disappointing. We made a video last night on how we were essentially misled. What's truly going on behind all of the commotion, however, is now the main emphasis. Because in my opinion, the reserve only represents a small portion of our priorities. Since the reserve isn't going to bring us to the point where XRP will be plug and play within the financial system, we are beginning to see some very significant regulatory actions, which is, in my opinion, the most significant aspect of all of this. That path forward will actually be paved by the regulatory talks and steps being taken in relation to regulations. Thus, we receive notifications like these when we begin to examine that. This is a huge thank you to subjective use. Federal banks and the implementation of blockchain technology are approved. Federal banks can now hold deposits that back stablecoins as reserves, provide custody services for crypto assets, and use DLT in conjunction with stablecoins to support their authorized payment operations, according to confirmation from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. A huge change right now. We go back to, just a little while ago when we reflect on what has been going on, don't we? It feels like January is coming to a conclusion. Additionally, I created a film about the repeal of SAP 121. This was significant since it essentially gave banks permission to hold crypto custody. Since it includes more than simply crypto custody services, this is only another addition to it. In order to sustain their permitted payment activities, it also holds deposits that support stablecoins as reserves and even uses DLT in conjunction with stable currencies. The floodgates have now been opened, and I now agree with Monica Long from Ripple, she is Ripple's president. I even mentioned that although the floodgates are opening gradually, we are making progress. And since Bank of America stated that they are prepared, this is a significant one. According to Morgan Stanley, they're prepared. Almost all of the big banks are probably prepared to provide cryptocurrency services, including, of course, DLT and stablecoin payments. The fact that this is what transpired in the final days outside of the summit makes it even more bizarre. The first was the announcement of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, which, once more, is important to those who care about it. You do not if you do not. The OCC confirms that cryptocurrency operations are allowed in the federal banking system. Weeks when decades essentially occurred, the Senate voted to abolish the IRS DeFi broker function, the SEC rejected enforcement action against Kraken, and the White House Crypto Summit. He's saying that we're seeing so many significant modifications in such a short period of time that it seems like these kinds of changes would take place over 10 years, but they're actually happening in a matter of weeks. Additionally, just a few weeks ago, when we began to notice some of the SEC's regulatory changes, someone else made a similar statement. They thought, wow, the SEC is accomplishing in a matter of days what the previous SEC was unable to do for more than 4 years. And thinking about it that way is a little weird. However, it is accurate. We are beginning to witness some of the most significant movements in the cryptocurrency space despite the fact that price action isn't executing them. However, the fact that we are beginning to witness what must truly go on behind the scenes makes it interesting. It's really that easy, I mean. However, we do hope that this will be accompanied by considerably more positive price activity. Once we start seeing the huge headlines that essentially prove that these big banks are deploying this technology, I do believe that will happen. However, I do believe that this is an important development, particularly because the Office of the Com highlighted the importance of this technology. Since all of the major moves start to place there, everyone should essentially wake up and pay close attention when the banks begin to get involved in Bitcoin activity. Trillions of dollars begin to pour into this area at that point. There, we also witness the tokenization of trillions of dollars. However, the OCC, of course, provides the complete breakdown here. First, the Comptroller of the Currency's Office took action today to reiterate that a variety of cryptocurrency operations are allowed within the federal banking system. The OCC issued Interpretive Letter 1183 to confirm that national banks and federal savings associations are allowed to hold crypto assets, engage in certain stablecoin activities, and participate in independent node verification networks like DO, which is essentially a distributed ledger, or DLT. The need that OCC-supervised institutions obtain supervisory non-objection and show that they have sufficient controls in place prior to engaging in certain cryptocurrency transactions is also revoked in the letter. This essentially gives the go-ahead for any of these organizations, including large banks, that genuinely wish to participate, because all of the significant barriers that have in theory prevented them from doing so in the past are being removed at this very moment. This is really very large. Additionally, the OCC requires banks to support innovative bank operations with the same stringent risk management procedures as they use for conventional ones. The measure taken today will lessen the pressure on banks to participate in crypto activities and guarantee that the OCC treats these bank operations uniformly, irrespective of the underlying technology. I will keep up my hard work to maintain a robust federal banking system while making sure that regulations are both effective and reasonable. Once more, they continue to act, in the sense of, the regulatory aspect of things, essentially ensuring the safety of everything. However, they're not using undue force, which would mean, shutting things down and cutting it off totally. They are ensuring the success of this technology. For example, now that banks have access to this technology, we could really use it. And we will determine what is important in this case. This is essentially the first criteria that comes to mind when we think about stablecoins, such as DLT. And the true test is this. It has nothing to do with the trials or anything similar. No, this will be the true test to demonstrate what this technology can do and why it is important for us to take it seriously. In fact, I'm quite eager for many of these significant barriers to be removed. This, in my opinion, is a game changer. It is truly revolutionary. Since this is the major story behind everything we have over here now, we're going to think about the stablecoin regime a lot, Treasury Secretary, and we will continue to maintain the US dollar as the world's most important currency, as instructed by President Trump. And to do so, we'll employ stablecoins, describe stablecoins. These cryptocurrencies, which are frequently based on the US dollar, are made to have a constant value of $1 per coin. He is essentially indicating a calculated move to regulate stablecoins, potentially promoting their use under US supervision. As a result, they back the dollar instead of opposing it, keeping a competitor from taking over, such as a Chinese digital yuan. Why? This is significant. The current state of the US dollar offers us several benefits, including low-cost loans, the ability to impose sanctions, and worldwide influence. In 2024, stablecoins have moved $10 trillion. Trump is essentially fighting back against China's ambition for its own digital currency in order to ensure that the dollar continues to rule for decades to come. At the same time, the financial system is increasingly incorporating blockchain technology. Blockchain and cryptocurrency are not the same thing. Knowing what you're doing and what to invest in is important. You have a lot of money to make if this works out. I must state up front that this is absolutely accurate before I play this clip. For example, banks are authorized to use and provide specific stablecoin services when we think about stablecoins. It's a big thing. Furthermore, what have we been hearing about stablecoins in addition to all of this? They hold the secret. They should be the main focus of tokenization efforts. They are the main focus at the moment, on tokenizing fiat money in the FX market. Since stablecoins are currently one of the greatest things available in this market, practically everyone is talking about them. Additionally, whenever the Fed or any of the major government players discuss stable currency, they always claim that they are protecting, backing, and supporting the dollar. How the dollar will remain the reserve currency, That isn't light language, that. We may infer from those powerful talking points what they intend to achieve with stable coins. Stable coinage will be adopted by them. Stable coins will be used and they will be incorporated into the American financial system. However, take a look at this video clip, as well as the weaponization of regulations against digital assets. The fact that you are all here today is truly a monument to your strength, as the Biden administration's actions only serve to penalize and expose innovators. A large portion of Treasury's